Hello and welcome to the Geek Show. I don't know if you can tell, but from that theme song, our intro song alone, I'm pretty sure you can, and also maybe our Instagram post, who knows, who maybe you follow our social media, you know that it's going to be a Star Wars episode maybe? I don't know. It's going to be about the Mandalorian mainly today, but anyways, just getting on with stuff. I'm Rose Mackay, your presenter and host for today, and of course in my co-host seat is my best friend in the whole wide world, Gilmore. How are you doing?
I'm your best friend in the whole wide world.
For now, you're
Your
my
bar's
best
not
friend.
very high.
That's very, very, very low, actually.
I hate to break it to you, but...
Am I not your best friend?
My best friend's a dog.
I'm hurt. I've been overtaken by Tilly. Oh,
I'm
well.
sorry.
Anyway, how are you feeling about Star Wars at the moment?
I love Star Wars all the time, so I just feel like...
Really?
I'm very excited.
All the time?
It's just like... it's a constant, like, just underlying love.
Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, but I just went back and watched the originals. See?
True. If you want to restore your love for Star Wars, reset it, go and watch the originals.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they are just like, I don't know, something quite classic about them. Like, even the look of the film itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first one's from 1977, so,
Yeah.
it's a few years ago.
Just don't take it seriously, because I can't personally get over the whole scene where R2-D2 like falls over.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks like he's just kind of been like maybe knocked over or something. I don't know. That's what it looks like. It looks like somebody's given him a little tap and he went. But of course, we're not here to talk about Star Wars original today. We're here to talk about The Mandalorian, which I would say has technically developed a little bit more. But before we get on to that, let's just chat some more Star Wars. Of course, we had the films with the prequels, yeah. And that was... Yeah, they were okay.
I don't hate the prequels. I love the third one. The third one's like my second favourite Star Wars film.
I mean, for me, the prequels contain my favourite scene of all time, which is Order 66.
Yeah, that scene is just great. And just the whole, like, in the Jedi Temple of slaying the younglings.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, I love that we get more
iconic.
and more scenes of Order 66, but, the original scenes will always have a special place in my heart.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It is amazing, that, but...
I mean, it's a weird thing to say to people because they immediately assume that you're some sort of psychopath, and they're like, why do you like watching everybody die? I'm like, because I love organisation, and I can understand planning. I can understand Palpatine, he's probably got like a bullet plan, he's got a mind map, and, just ticking
He's got his day-to-day plan with all his highlighters just going, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I bet you Palpatine's got highlighters.
Pastel highlighters. He's definitely a pastel type of guy.
And that is what the prequels is all about, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy and the love of order. So I think, how well do you think The Mandalorian kind of connects to the Disney, like, sort of universe as a whole?
Well, the sequels.
Yeah,
I have absolutely no
sequels,
clue,
prequels,
because
originals.
they're set, I think season 1 set about 5 years, I want to say, after the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
So it's really, really far off from the sequels, because the sequels are about 30 years after Return of the Jedi, I think the first one is.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know. I think they are going to link, but I think they're more focused on just...
Getting past... I think they've kind of realised that they can't do a callback to the originals, like, over and over again. Because
they can and they can't. Well, I mean, they kind of did.
They kind of did. And I'm not going to lie, I personally don't think Mark Hamill should have come back for Luke Skywalker, because, you know the guy that plays Bucky in the MCU?
Yeah.
Give him a shave and cut his hair and he looks like Mark Hamill young, which is very creepy.
Oh, true, yeah, that's kind of weird, actually.
Like, somebody showed
well,
me,
to be fair, though, like, they kind of CGI'd in Luke and for The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, which I was very happy about.
Yeah.
I love Luke.
To be fair, they definitely improved the CGI for young Luke.
Oh yeah, the Mandalorian one was not great, but the Book of Boba Fett one was weirdly, really realistic.
The
and I was like, I
Mandalorian
don't
looked like
like
someone
this.
had stuck a picture of Luke to his face, and that was not...
It was really weird, yeah.
It was just so funny because, like, everyone... Like, Baby Yoda, you hate me.
I warned you for going to this to not call him Baby Yoda. It's
call
Grogu.
him Baby Yoda.
It's Grogu.
It's Baby Yoda.
He's got his own wee name and personality.
And I refuse to accept that. In my opinion, he's Yoda, but baby version.
Unbelievable.
Come on, we all know that's what Yoda was like as a baby. Time travel, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. No, it's actually not a thing in Star Wars, is it?
Not that I'm aware, but it probably has been at some point in some weird, unknown graphic novel. Because Earth's actually a real thing in Star Wars.
Is it?
There is a random graphic novel. This sounds really nerdy that I know this. I haven't read it, but there's a random graphic novel that finds Han and Chewie crash land on Earth.
No way.
Yeah.
And that is what we love about the Star Wars stuff, is it's just so unique. Isn't it? Basically, that's what we love.
Yeah. What makes me laugh is the fact it says, oh, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and yet it's so futuristic. And I'm like,
I mean,
what are they like now?
It makes you wonder what happened to turn all our technology back to this. But it's also kind of like someone always points out as well that like the original trilogy's technology is so much worse than the prequels, and everyone's like, how'd that happen?
Yeah, I've always noticed that. It's bizarre. It's like, did they just lose everything when it became the Empire? What's going on?
We all knew that the Jedi were actually like the apple of their time, you know. Yeah. Palpatine was killing them because, you know, he was against technology. He was like, he wanted everyone to go back to like analog and everything like that.
Exactly.
To be fair, the Jedi were pretty techy. Did you not see their library?
Yeah, library was cool. A lot better than GCU's library.
Yeah. Sorry, GCU, but it just wins out. Anyway, I think that kind of just comes to at the end of our first section.
Very chaotic first section. I have no idea what we're on about though.
I think we just wanted to have a chat, and you know, if you've not already turned off by now, thank you. So before we go into part 2, we're going to listen to Together Electric Dreams by the Human League. Hello and welcome back to the Geek Show. I'm Rose Mackay, and of course with me is Em. So if you've managed to live through the chaotic first part of this week's episodes, I don't know what to call it, but episode's probably an episode. This week's first part of this week's episode, then we'll be ready for...
That was not a sentence.
That was not a sentence.
That was worse than Yoda's sentences.
I can't speak. I'm going to become like Yoda. That's a good idea. So basically, we're going to start with part 2, which is going to be covering the Mandalorian. And yeah, you may have noticed the reason it was so chaotic in the first part is because I was like, we need to refrain from talking about the topic of this week's episode. So what did you think of like the previous 2 seasons?
Loved them. I binged them really, really quickly. I actually binged them when season 2 came out. I didn't really watch when season 1 came out. I didn't have Disney Plus at the time. And then season 2 came out, I just binged both of them back to back. So I actually can't really remember what season 1, what season 2, because they do also lead into each other.
They do mesh into each other pretty well. Like, I would say I'm the same as you, that I was broke at the time and didn't want to pay for Disney Plus. And also, I'm just a bit weird with I don't like watching stuff while there's a big hype around stuff. I don't know. Unless, like, I've already been watching previous seasons, I won't get stuff once the hype going, which is why I'm still to start Wednesday. I have started at first.
Is that worth it?
I watched the first episode.
That's a whole different show.
So yeah, for me, the Mandalorian season 1 and season 2 again meshed pretty well together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I don't know. It's a western like Hollywood drama sort of thing, isn't it? Really.
Kind of.
Cowboys,
yeah.
Really.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of bounty hunters stuff in Tatooine.
Yeah.
Why is it also Disney seems to think that Tatooine is the only planet that exists in the entire, or just desert planets in general in the entire universe? When you think about it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that Anakin as Darth Vader hasn't gone back to Tatooine. Like,
doesn't like sand, remember?
Yeah, but come on, that's where his mum's grave is. Like, he's not going to go visit. Yeah, is he not going to visit his mum's grave? Let's be honest. It's like, it's really weird. It also makes you wonder why Luke wanted to leave so bad. Because, like, in the first movie, he kind of goes, nothing ever happens here. I'm like, you've got, like, the mafia on Tatooine. Like, and you're whining about wanting to leave.
To be fair, we're stuck in a moisture farm.
Yeah, true. Lars was very good at keeping him away from all the fun.
Yeah, he was like, oh, you can apply for the Imperial Academy next year. Do you know what's so funny, though, is the fact that Luke was going to apply to join the Empire. He was like, when you really think about it.
Do you think he might have been discovered if he'd, like, went to join the Empire?
That's the thing. There's so many things like that. Like, they never changed his surname.
Yeah. Like,
surely if you're trying to hide him, you'd change the surname.
He also wouldn't dump him with his dad's half-brother.
Yeah. No, not even half. Is it not, like...
His step-brother?
Step, yeah.
I think he's a half-brother.
No, they're different.
No, because his stepbrother is like, he's related via his mum. No, yeah. He's not. No, he's not, because his brother wasn't. He's his stepbrother or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm just
Let's
saying.
not look at the Skywalker family tree, because that is like, I don't know what it is. It's a mess. It's a tumbleweed. Nobody understands it. But for me, the main draw was the whole Baby Yoda thing.
He's not called Baby Yoda.
Fine, okay, it's the whole Grogu thing. Happy now.
There we go.
It was this character that looked a lot like Yoda, who was in baby form.
Mm-hmm.
So, hence the reason Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
the child.
He's so cute. He is so cute. Have you seen like the clip they released from season 3?
Yeah.
And he's just spinning his chair.
Let's be honest, we're all watching season 3 for Baby Yoda. Or Grogu, sorry.
One more slip of the tongue and you're just out this studio.
Anyway, yeah, for me it was watching, I got dragged into it via all the compilation clips of a character that looks a lot like Yoda being funny. And also in baby form while not being able to talk but making baby noises. So yeah, I mean, it's a Star Wars like Western movie basically. You know, you get the feeling of the Lone Ranger.
I've actually never seen that, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like it wouldn't not be out of place if they had somebody whistling, you know, in the background. Yeah.
So, expectations for season 3, what are yours?
I think it's going to be a lot more of the same. Like, I think with the Disney Mandalorian stuff, they're not really there to break any boundaries or barriers or anything like that. But also, you know, maybe we'll finally get to see Grogu, finally. Get to see Grogu use the Force. I want to see that. I also want to see Grogu use a lightsaber. Because that would also be pretty
it'd be so... It'd be just a small little lightsaber.
Like a little pen.
Oh, bless.
Can you imagine him, like, taking down the Empire with a pen-sized lightsaber?
Oh, it's too cute.
Like, I know with Yoda, people were really annoyed to see Yoda holding a lightsaber for some weird reason. They were like, Yoda is, like, the master of peace. And then he pulls out a lightsaber and they all lost it.
I forgot he doesn't actually use that in the original trilogy.
No, it doesn't use it in the original trilogy. But then, to be fair, the prequels... That wasn't the main problem with Yoda. Yoda just didn't seem to understand the laws of gravity.
Yeah, and also the prequels, especially episode 2 when he first has his lightsaber, the amount of jumps and flips he does is just like, where is he?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think with Baby Yoda they have kept him pretty grounded because it's a doll, isn't it? It's to be animatronic doll they're using.
I'm not actually sure.
I feel like it's a mix, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's just a...
Of course, for this part we don't really want to get into like theories about season 3 because there is a lot.
Apart from the Order 66, who rescued Grogu, they're definitely going to show that in season 3.
I mean, we'll go into that bit later in the show, the part 3. Did you not write this down?
No, part 3 is not about Mandalorian. Part 3 is that.
No, I was saying Mandalorian. We're going to do the Liam Neeson comments and then the fan theories. This is what happened.
I didn't write that down clearly.
Note to editor, edit this out. Yeah, but like. Mandalorian season 3, I think it's gonna be fun. Like, I don't think it's gonna be anything different. I don't think they're gonna turn to the dark side. But are we gonna see any more Mandalorians? Because I kind of want to see more Mandalorians.
Yeah, we will. I think they're going to go to Mandalore, the planet, because.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the Mandalorian. Well, what's he called? Din or something? Is that
Din Djarin?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, he's got the dark saber, which means he's like the head of like the Mandalorians type thing. And that is it Bo-Katan or something?
Bo-Katan, yeah.
She's like. Miffed that he's got it. That was like the end of
she's proper annoyed.
So I think they're going to go to Mandalore.
She's like, oh, I wanted the crown.
Yeah.
Now he's nicked the crown, and it's all very sad when you think about it.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's going to happen in season 3. Season 3 will be last season.
In fact, that'd be quite fun if she was the main antagonist.
I think she might be one of them
instead of the Empire.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the Empire sometimes gets a bit annoying.
Especially because we thought the Empire were gone by the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And yet they're still hanging about.
And they're like, nope, we're still here.
It's like the straggler stormtroopers are just like, no, I still need this job, you don't understand.
Yeah.
I have a family.
To be fair, I think the whole time with the Empire still being there is this whole idea of like, people benefited from the Empire.
Yeah, they never really went away because the First Order's then kind of built from the Empire.
Yeah, and I think it's this idea as well that people benefited, like they were selling the weapons, they were still selling slaves.
Yeah.
Which is, to be fair, true in real life, in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think we probably... I think in the teaser trailer there was definitely a shot of Tatooine. I think they go back again. I could be wrong.
Did we get to see the nice lady with all the little robots?
Yeah, I think we did.
Mando has finally learned to trust.
Yeah. I like our little robots.
Yeah, and of course... Oh, I forgot, so we're going to have some cast changes, aren't we? Because... What's her face? She was taken off the project.
Yeah. I don't know if she's just the character's not coming back. I've not seen anything about if they've recast her or not.
That means they'd have to change, like, they wouldn't ever go back to that planet then, because I don't know how they would explain why she's not there anymore.
Nah, could have got shot off screen.
She died off screen. That'd be the most insulting thing to happen, but it would also be very Disney.
Yeah. But I mean, this is the company that gave us, the sequel line of somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah,
expected us just to accept that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that kind of wraps up part 2. Yeah, I think. Anyway, so in part 3 we'll be discussing some comments made by Liam Neeson, who of course you know played Qui-Gon Jinn as well as Schindler's List. I just thought I'd throw that in there. And also we'll be chatting to him theories we're going to have for what's going to be happening in season 3. So with that, we're going to move on to our third song of the day, which is Born to Die by Lana Del Rey. Good afternoon and welcome back to part 3 of our Mandalorian episode with the Geek Show. So let's get straight into it. So recently Liam Neeson, who of course played Qui-Gon Jinn, who is the big tall bloke in Phantom Menace who gets skewered at the end. Spoilers.
Spoilers, it came out in like 1999.
True. So. If you've not seen it by now and you're listening to this show, you deserve to have this show spoiled.
Yes.
He came out and said that he thinks that the magic of Star Wars is getting lost because he gets bogged down with so many TV shows and movies. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a fair judgment?
With Star Wars, I don't think so. I think it is necessary for Disney because, in my opinion, they kind of killed the Star Wars hype train.
With the movies, yeah.
So, by doing the TV show, especially The Mandalorian, it definitely re-sparked a lot of love for Star Wars.
Yeah.
For me, anyway, like after the sequels, well, I liked Force Awakens, the other two were just not great. They had their moments of being great, but overall they weren't brilliant. I think The Mandalorian was definitely needed.
Yeah, I think in some ways he might be a little bit right, especially with maybe... I think mainly it's because of the Disney Plus shows, but then again that's a problem with Disney Plus in general.
To be fair, I can see what you mean, because last year we had Book of Boba Fett, then Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then Andor. And
were any of them... Well, maybe Andor was pretty good.
I've only seen half of it.
I didn't enjoy the Book of Boba Fett. I enjoyed Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I think having a second season is then pushing it to a little bit too far.
Book of Boba Fett was not great until they brought The Mandalorian in for those 2 episodes.
Yeah, it basically became
so basically it showed that
show.
Because I think with Boba Fett, he's a great character because we didn't know much about him. So giving him a TV show that like kind of tried to give him a character, it just took away his whole character as from what he was. Yeah, because they also just in the same town. He was just trying to run this random tiny town that wasn't even the big. It wasn't the big town of Tatooine. He was even Mos Eisley.
He was basically running the campgrounds.
Yeah, Tatooine. It's like a tiny little village. And also Book of Boba Fett had the worst chase scene.
Yeah, it was
those coloured motorbikes. What was that?
I don't know what it was. It was very weird. I don't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi was good, but I felt like, again, it felt like it was meant to have been a movie.
Yeah, it did feel like that. It felt like just an extended movie.
And I also had some problems with some of the lighting, where I couldn't see what was going on.
The amount of times I had to shut the curtains in my flat to see it, and then you just get blinded when a lightsaber ignites. I literally just was like, whoa, I'm blinded.
Yeah, I mean, I also had some massive problems with the first one in regards to Leia's chase scene, where it looked like a bunch of men couldn't catch a 7-year-old girl.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like they weren't even trying. They were trying to follow, but that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, it was good for first season. I really don't think it should have a second one. I don't think it justifies it anyway.
I don't think it will. Andor, from what I've seen, was okay. Apparently it is really good, but I just haven't seen much of it.
To be fair, I don't know if I was ever going to be on board with Andor, just because I'm not a big fan of Cassian.
It's a spin-off of a spin-off.
Yeah, it's like...
Which is a bit weird.
I mean, there's some stuff I'm looking forward to, definitely. Like, we've got the Ahsoka show coming up, which... Who's playing that again? Rosario Dawson?
Yes.
Yes. And she was absolutely fantastic in The Mandalorian. So I can't really wait to see what she does with... Just being a soloist as well. That's
I'm really excited to see that show.
Because, I don't know, the thing is, I haven't watched a lot of the animated stuff, but does Ahsoka do well as a solo character when she's by herself?
Okay, so I've only seen half of the Clone Wars.
Right.
Because there's like 7 seasons, and it's quite a lot. I've seen half of it. So what I've seen so far, every time she gets separated from Anakin and Obi-Wan, yeah, she's great. She holds up.
Yeah.
As a character. And I think she also is really good in Rebels. I've not seen Rebels.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm wondering is how they can actually develop her to actually be an interesting character. Because the thing is, she's kind of already had her development with the Clone Wars, because she started off as someone that everyone hated.
I think she was like 14. She's meant to be in the
She's very annoying in the first season.
Yeah.
Like, you're right to slap her and tell her to be quiet.
Alright, Rose.
Okay, I was the only one thinking that.
Okay.
But she kind of grew to be a fan favourite. You know, we saw her getting, wrongly accused by the Jedi Council, miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, she leaves, and I think that's the end of season 5, and then she comes back season 7.
Yeah, obviously, I wonder if we'll get some more Darth Maul.
Yeah, because he's hinted in live action again at the end of Solo, but then we never saw him again.
So maybe.
Because he is officially alive.
Yes, he is alive, because that was the big thing that everyone hates about Solo, is they brought in Darth Maul. I mean, everyone likes about Darth Maul, to be fair.
He was officially alive, I think, in
oh yeah, because Kenobi
Rebels.
Yeah, season 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knows that Luke is Anakin's son, but then he dies or something.
Yeah, Obi-Wan kills him.
Okay. Maybe we'll be like Obi-Wan
again.
He goes completely.
Round 2. I didn't succeed the first time, I'll get you this time.
Makes sense. Anyway, so let's go on to some fan theories for Mandalorian. So, Mandalore...
Well, Mandalore is going to be in it. The planet's going to be in it.
So, do we think that he's going to become King of Mandalore?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Would it pay off? That's the question.
I'm not sure. I kind of think it could pay off if they did it right, but I just quite thought of him just being this lone ranger, well, with Grogu. But...
I mean, I think it'd be a nice payoff to see in regards to, like you said, we see him starting off alone and very moody. He's the ultimate emo teenager. And then to see him work with others and accept others. And it also work in the sense that he started off as this little orphan adopted by the Mandalorians, because he's not technically a proper Mandalorian.
Oh, neither he is. That detail slipped my mind.
So that would be a really interesting thing to see how the Mandalorians themselves are going to react. Yeah. Anyway, so another big thing that will probably be coming up in season 3, especially if it's the last season, is how did Grogu get out the temple?
Okay, so I have 2 theories.
Right.
One, R2-D2, because he's small enough to fit in R2-D2, and R2-D2 basically is a tin can. Pretty sure you just fit him inside.
Yeah.
Just lift his head and just pop him in,
Yeah.
Just scoot off. And 2, Anakin. And that's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, it's probably going to be Anakin more than R2-D2. I think Anakin will have slipped him out via R2-D2.
Well, maybe my theory will be right with both of them. It'll be that combined theory.
I just can't think of anybody else they've introduced that could have got him out of the temple.
Because it won't be Ahsoka.
It won't be Obi-Wan and it won't be Yoda. I don't think anyway.
No.
Because they're both too busy.
It won't be Ahsoka because she was... Because I've seen the bit when Order 66 hits in the Clone Wars and she's in space with...
So it can't be Ahsoka, right?
Whatever, the Captain Rex, whose head's clone trooper, she's in space with him. So she's nowhere near the temple when it happens, so why she survives as well. So it can't be her. Unless they rewrote the end of that. But they can't, because season 7 is Disney ran. So that is officially Disney as well. So...
the thing is, we do know that some Jedi did survive, so it could just be a random Jedi.
There's just more and more just as suddenly survived. Did you actually kill Eddie?
Yeah, that's
There's multiple of you still out there.
When he says, kill all of them.
It's well, you failed.
Yes, I think Palpatine failed. I'm very sorry, Palpatine. But I think it would work.
Your passo highlighting plan didn't work.
It would work, because when you think about it, it's going to be somebody that knows of Grogu, and by the looks of things, Grogu was kept pretty secret.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have shown him off at the prequels. Can you imagine them marching around just holding him like Simba? Grogu. Listen, I didn't get to see that, but I just held my hands up like that.
It was. Yeah, you tried.
It'd be funny, but it's got to be someone high up. And Anakin, although he wasn't rank of Jedi Master, we do not grant you the role of Master.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He probably knew a lot of top secret information.
Yeah.
Hence the reason he was so good at helping kill the Jedi.
Maybe he finally just went, oh, I'm fine, just killing all the human younglings, but no, that baby looks too cute. I can't kill it. Look at his eyes.
I mean, the question is could Grogu just have escaped himself?
What, his little floaty pram?
Yeah.
Just go beep beep, scoot off.
I mean,
like a floating. I just got an image now. You know how the pram closes. It's not really a pram, but I just call it a pram because it looks like one. Just all these dead the younglings, and it's just this egg just floats over them. Just I'm out.
I mean, in theory, he could just have been ignored. If he's hiding, because he's quite small.
Yeah, he's
tiny.
tiny.
If he's a baby as well, you do get to see he's a little bit smaller in the clips and flashbacks and everything. I just hope we get to see more of Order 66.
Yeah, but I hope this is the last time we see it though, because it is starting to get a bit repetitive. Like, oh, back to Order 66. Like, I know it's a big plot twist, but
Order 66 works in a way if you don't know what happens, because then you make it more horrific in your mind.
yeah, but now exactly.
Because that's the thing is, all we ever actually see, well, all we ever originally saw anyway was Anakin marching up the steps with the stormtroopers. Doom, doom, doom. You know that,
Yeah.
Good old theme behind him. And then we see him, like, we don't even see him kill the younglings, we just see him scare some younglings. Right?
Oh no, you have. Do you actually see? Because you obviously see him.
We obviously
killing a few of the adults.
There's a small hologram.
Yeah, but you see him killing a few of the adults.
You never see him killing any younglings actually on camera.
No, I don't think you do actually.
So,
oh no, 'cause it cuts away when
it
he's
cuts
about
away.
to.
I mean, I think there was actually a scene apparently that was so violent that George Lucas went no, and he shrunk it down to hologram size so you can kind of see it in the background. But again, it's also cut so we don't actually see the Jedi getting skewered to the chest. Yeah, it's very brutal actually when you think about it.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
God, I love watching Order 66, but it's also just...
You psychopath.
It's so organised! I don't know.
Like I said, it's those pastel
But
highlighters.
of course, we have seen more of it in the Kenobi stuff, which, to be fair, was a great thing.
I really liked Kenobi. It had its flaws, but it was just... I think it was just nostalgia. I think nostalgia
My
carried
only
it,
question was, with the Kenobi scene, was why were those kids practising, and why were they in class at, like, night time?
Yeah, I did think that too.
I was like, do they never sleep? Or is this like, do they have like a rota where like some of them sleep?
Yeah, that was a bit interesting, that one.
I mean, I think it was just there to show us more Order 66.
Yeah.
And also to set up Reva.
Yeah. Who was a great character, by the way.
She was. Shout out to Reva's actress.
Yeah.
I don't know her name, but she was pretty good.
I think it's Moses Ingram or something.
Moses Ingram, that was it. Because there was a lot of chat about her online. Again, just a quick reminder, Star Wars fans, please keep it happy in the comment sections and stuff like that.
Don't be toxic idiots.
I know, at the end of the day, it is just a film and TV show.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not real.
Yeah, like, calm down, take a breather. You don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
Just don't watch it. There's plenty of other stuff for you.
Exactly. Go and watch Star Trek. Go and be a Trekkie. I don't know. I never watched Star Trek, so I don't know if that's just
I've only ever really seen the recent films.
Anyway, I think that kind of wraps up season 3, unless you've got any fan theories that you'd like to share yourself. What is any theories you've got other than Mando being king of everything and we get to see who saved Grogu?
Not that I can think of. I'd like to see more planets that aren't Tatooine. I know we say Mandalore, but can we see like some other planets now?
Yeah, it would be nice. But if they're going to be stuck in Mandalore for a bit, they're probably going to just see Mandalore.
I hate to break it to you, but Mandalore, if it is canonically a wasteland, so it's just going to be grey.
Oh, so like,
Jumpland.
you know when Ahsoka was introduced that episode, it'll be like that.
Do you know what it's going to be like? You know how the Mandalorians play with Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
It's going to be like it's like The Last of Us, but in space. Just desolate land.
He's choosing some great roles right now.
He's just going for like post-apocalyptic... I can't even talk. Post-apocalyptic world right now. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that brings us on to our 4th song of the day, and of course it's Life on Mars by David Bowie, which I feel is very, very well related to Star Wars, isn't it?
Well, despite the fact... Well, I don't know Mars is in Star Wars. Earth
If
is, but,
Earth is, Mars is too.
Exactly.
Oh. You're not scheduled them to go on different days.
Oh, I could actually do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
That would be a good idea. What else? What else would I do if I could? I don't know. Yeah, better headphones. Actually, to be fair, these headphones aren't bad. Just being prepared.
Oh man, look at those cavemen go. I fucking love the
And
movie.
we paint on the walls as well.
It's the freakiest show. See my wall, my bedroom. I decked it over my hairdryer yesterday. Not yesterday, a few days ago. Caught the, you know, with the plaster's so thin. Caught it with my nail by accident. There is a massive scratch.
Oh,
It's like
is your nail okay?
Yeah. It's fine 'cause it's long, but the paper's so thin, the plaster's so thin, it's fine, it crumbled just so easily. There's a massive it was like a fucking bear's attacked my wall.
It's proper, wow, that's like... Ugh.
You should see, I'll say this in a picture, it's so obvious next to my picture frames, with a pain in the ass, can't
What
cut
time
it.
do we finish at for the race team to go the full way through?
No, it's only 3 minutes, so 57.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we can talk about that. Worst
26
case
seconds.
Okay, worst case scenario, we just take a song on.
No. Oh, that's what we just do, yeah. Shut one on.
I've got to say, I love me some David Bowie. Like,
oh, you can't go wrong. Well, except for my flatmate last night, just,
shout out to Ruthie.
she admitted she didn't know any David Bowie songs. She knew of him. She didn't even know Starman. And then I pressed play on Starman. I was like, right, you're going to get educated.
Yep.
Brought up the David Bowie playlist. And then she got to the chorus of Starman. She went, oh, I know also of TikTok. I was ready to get a new flatmate.
No, curse TikTok. That is awful.
There's a difference between not knowing, niche references and stuff. But if you don't know a David Bowie song, that's not right.
That's wrong. Like, no. Who hurt her in the past?
I don't know.
Anyway, we thought we'd move away from Mandalorian because we're probably getting a little bit sick about hearing Mandalorian, Baby Yoda.
I could just talk about Grogu all day. I love Grogu.
Let's discuss some of the upcoming Disney shows and what we're expecting from them.
Of Poppy, my youngest dog.
Oh, hi Poppy. Shout out to Poppy.
Yeah, look, and Tilly too.
And Tilly, of course. Let's not forget Tilly.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's discuss some of the upcoming Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. I can't remember the ones now.
Marvel.
Some upcoming Disney shows.
No, I think the only ones I've got listed. Right, I suppose you just heard that. That was my notebook hitting paper. I've just got Star Wars written down, and they all start with A. It's like a AAA battery.
I know. I was thinking that as we were writing them down. Anyway, so we've obviously got. Let's discuss Ahsoka a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've discussed Ahsoka a lot today.
Don't know if there's actually a plot point out for it. Let me just quickly do a
Google
search.
But like honestly, for me, Ahsoka is a character that I love to see just because she's just so cool to look at. Like remember for Comic Con,
I typed it in and I got the Indian curry house in Finiston.
Nice.
That's not what I wanted. I misspelled it. I put in a shock.
That's what it was. But like Ahsoka is just so visually stunning to look at. Like see for Comic Con, remember how I was going to actually make her my cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I realised that I was far too lazy and poor to do proper cosplay. So
I just don't cosplay. I just wear a t-shirt.
I'd love to cosplay. Like it'd be so fun.
I'm too lazy.
But it's expensive. Like, so you're going to have to make everything yourself, you're going to pay for materials and
okay.
So you got the Star Wars plot point?
Okay, so it's going to be in the same time frame as The Mandalorian.
Cool.
So it says, it's part of Star Wars franchise and a spin-off in the series The Mandalorian taking place in the same time frame as that series and its other interconnected spin-offs after the events of Return of the Jedi.
So they're kind of starting to make it about like the MCU almost.
Doesn't say anything about what's going to be about yet, but we know that Hayden Christensen's back against Anakin, so I assume it's a Force Ghost.
So because
he's a bit dead.
I don't know if they were going to work a Ahsoka versus Anakin fight because they've already.
No, I don't think they are. I think it's going to be maybe like mentors are that they reconcile. Are we going to get a reconciliation scene? That would be very. That'd be very very sweet. Be very sad.
Oh, I can't think of anything else other than Anakin just going, "I'm sorry, Ahsoka," for the whole season. Then at the end,
I should play. Stop.
To be fair though, they could just pull like a Liam Neeson with the Obi-Wan Kenobi and like hint that he's going back. Because Liam Neeson was only in it for like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, the end of Kenobi, yeah.
Like, come on, let me show you how to communicate with Force Ghosts. And then they ride off into the desert with Obi-Wan's weird camo thingy.
After saying hi randomly to like kid Luke, who'd be like, why is this a random guy just saying hi to me? Do you remember? I was so happy to see Luke though.
Oh dear. no, let's not even go there. But yeah, I wonder if that's kind of what it's going to be like. But then again, Hayden Christensen does seem to want to be more interactive with Star Wars than he.
Well, he has confirmed to be in Ahsoka, whereas Liam Neeson was just rumoured. So he probably has a big part.
If you're Liam Neeson was just a cameo.
Yeah.
True. Plus, we've already seen Hayden Christensen come back for Kenobi. And I think he was quite welcomed back by the fans as well. Like,
yeah,
everyone was happy to
he
find
was really overhated by his portrayal by Anakin. Like, it wasn't amazing, but like Anakin is like a whiny character.
He's meant to be. He's written like that. And I hate boys out, but Luke is also pretty much the same.
Do you know, because like I think he's like only like 9 in episode 1.
Yeah,
obviously that wasn't Hayden Christensen playing it, but in episode 2 he's, I want to say he's like 19 and then he's like 22 in Revenge of the Sith. So it's like us.
Oh my god. He is going to be the same age as us next year. Oh, that is sad.
I hate watching shows like that or TV or films that you grew up with and you realise you're now the same age as the characters.
Just think about it. By the time we're 22, Anakin has already committed genocide. What have we done with our lives?
Well, thankfully not committed genocide.
No, that's true. Hopefully they'll have done something by that point. Hopefully I'll have my dissertation done by that point.
Oh god. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, anyway, so the other shows we've obviously got coming up is Andor season 2.
So it's not been completely confirmed when that's coming out, because obviously Andor season 1 just came out this year. But from what I can gather, it is just going to be a few episodes of basically each focused on a year until Rogue One, because obviously after Rogue One you can't really write any more Cassian Andor stories.
I want to see up until Rogue One, because Cassian he says he's done some pretty dodgy stuff.
I know.
Like in Rogue One, I don't know if I want to see him actually commit to dodgy stuff, because like either they're gonna fake it, like they're gonna fake out basically and not make him do as much bad stuff as he claims he has,
or Star Wars is finally gonna go quite dark.
Do we want a dark Star Wars though?
There is some really dark novels.
Yeah,
you've not heard of the it's like the zombie one, and I can't remember what it's called.
I always think there's like an uncanny valley from bringing something like from books and animation and comics to live action, because that's when it gets a little bit too real.
The Black Wing Virus novel is basically like this horror story. It's official, like it's in the timeline, and it's this like virus that breaks out and just basically turns all the soldiers into zombies. So Star Wars can go dark, just not on screen.
Just not on screen, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see that. And also the thing is as well is that Cassian seems to be a nice enough guy. I don't know if it's just because the actor playing him's got quite a lot of charisma. And I don't know if I want to see him do evil stuff. Like, okay, he's not evil, it's questionable stuff. And also then it makes you question if the rebel forces are good.
But I think that's the whole point though. Like, there's no good
and
no bad.
Rogue One already made me question that. When they like had the whole, they'll let them get blown up at the beach.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's a bit when you're like, please don't make the good guys questionable. Don't make the Empire the good guys in this story.
Exactly.
Oh, of course, and then of course our final show that we know of coming up
is The Acolyte. Don't know much about it, only that it's set in the High Republic era, which is prequels by like 1,000 years, which I'm quite excited about.
So we get to see like Jedi at their peak.
Proper Jedi and proper Sith at their peak as well.
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of Darths in there.
Thing is see with Sith, how many will there actually be? Because I thought they only ever were allowed to have 2.
No, there's been tons. So I think the main one, if they...
But 2 at a time?
Oh, I don't know, but I think the main one they'll do will be Darth Raven.
That would be good. What's Darth Raven's story?
He's like I think he's like a fallen Jedi and stuff, and I don't really know, like I'm not like that big into it, but I definitely know that he has 2 lightsabers.
I mean, I would love.
Really
I love some dual lightsaber stuff. To be fair, like you
yeah.
don't really get to see much of it in the movies because the only time you ever see it is when Anakin gets his hand chopped off. That funny scene when he thought, I'll just pick up a technique that people spend years learning.
And then you also get General Grievous with his 4.
Does General Grievous count? No, he's like part robot.
If I saw him coming towards me, I'd just turn and run and be like, nope, I'm off.
Nope, let's just leave.
It's like, how can I defeat 4 lightsabers with 1?
I just want to kind of know why he's so obsessed with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, in the Clone Wars, they're kind of like always pissed against each other. But you know what's so funny about this Clone Wars TV show?
What?
The entire 7 seasons, General Kenobi and Anakin never meet because they can't, because that one line in Revenge of the Sith where like he goes, Anakin goes, you're shorter than I expected, and then General Grievous goes, I thought your reputation you'd be a bit older.
So they never through hearsay?
Yeah, so they spent the entire 7 seasons because of that line. They could never meet. They always like bypass each other and never come face to face.
I much want to bet the writers of that show were like just sat there just going cursing.
Cursing Revenge of the Sith, I know.
I mean, I know a lot of people were cursing George Lucas because he's bad writing, but that must have been like a kick in the gut for them.
I know, it's so funny.
Anyway, I think that kind of brings us to the end of the show. So if you've only just tuned in and you kind of liked what you hear, we will of course be uploading.
I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I would be shocked. But we've got all our episodes up on our YouTube channel.
Well,
not all.
The previous ones from last year, this year's haven't yet because I just haven't had time to upload them yet. So I'll try to do them all this weekend. So.
Okay, so but you were saying you're going to try and stack them as well, just so they're not all getting.
Yeah, so I think obviously this is our 3rd one of this lot. So the first one will probably go up Sunday, and then maybe Monday and Tuesday. Yeah,
and of course we have a 3-hour Buffy discussion up there as well if you want to have a listen. I was not in charge of that, but okay.
Because you still haven't seen the show, but I can't believe it was 3 hours. It was so funny. It flew by. I think that's why. And I was like, I wanted to edit it, but I was like, I don't want to cut out any of this.
And of course, we'll be back next week, and we haven't quite decided what we're going to do. We're either going to do What We Do in the Shadows, or we're going to be discussing the Oscar-nominated The Whale. It just depends. We might also have our friend, and Devin was on the show in the first year as well.
Yes.
Devin will be returning hopefully next week. We'll figure out third mic by then. And of course, you want to keep up with all the geek news, Geek Show news. You can follow us on our social media. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Geek Show _GCU. Also, if you've been listening to the show and think you can do a better job than us, don't worry, many people have.
It's not a high bar.
It's not a high bar.
It's
you
a
can
very
join
low bar.
the Radio Caley Society at GCU. And they pretty much let you put a show up about anything. We had some pretty good shows last year. We had Music Your Mum Likes, which really got quite popular. But you also have some very serious debatey shows, so anything you want.
There was not a conspiracy one at one point.
There was, but that got taken off air because of defamation and stuff.
Oh, right. So you can do pretty much what you want without getting done for defamation. There is a slight
defamation and slander is a thing. Take your
I
journalism
didn't realise they did. That's quite funny.
And you can also follow Radio Caley at Radio Caley on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. I would encourage that mainly because I'm part of the committee. And yeah, that's it. If you want to sign up for your show, just email programming.radiocaley@gcustudents.co.uk. Anyway, that's all for this week. We're going to just round it off. You might have noticed we started with a Star Wars theme song, and we're going to end with a Star Wars theme song of Rey's theme, which, to be fair, despite the horrible sequels, was probably one of the better options that we had.
It was in Force Awakens, which wasn't awful, so that's probably why.
True.
And it's John Williams.
Back when Rey had a future.
You can't go wrong with John Williams music.
So with that, goodbye and see you next week.
See you next week.